Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, thanks. It's,
Happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there.
yeah.
And the mothers holding down the fort as too,
Yeah.
you know. But
And hopefully this time we won't have a car smack into our house or anything.
or anything weird
during
happen.
Our, you know,
Yeah.
broadcast.
So today we're going to be making, I actually already started it. I'm going to be making a dry aged ribeye, which I already started. And we're making a butter poached lobster tail. So I'm doing the reverse method of cooking the steak. Basically the reverse method is you don't sear it first. You put it right into the oven at like 225, 250, and you cook it for an hour, depending on how big it is, how many pounds it is. And then you take it out and then you sear it real quickly for like 2 minutes, and you add some butter and some rosemary, and then you just slice it.
Okay, so, and you usually, like a lot, I mean, usually when we do steak, pan sear it first, right?
Right, so that's the traditional, you know, everybody does it that way. The reverse method, I feel like with something big like that, like with a big steak, I like to do it this way. So you put it in the oven, bring it out, and then you sear it. You're still going to get the same crust, that nice crust. I just feel like with this way, with like a big, like even if you have like a porterhouse or any big steak like that, the reverse method is really, really good.
Okay.
And then I know people have asked before, like with dry aged, what's the difference? So basically the meat gets dehydrated. It actually shrinks in size a little bit. It can go for a couple of weeks to a couple of months where it does age. But the flavor becomes so beefy and so like nutty. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. What are you going to cut that with?
I was going to cut a radish on this.
Okay, that's
garnish.
fine.
Yeah.
That one's okay. All right. Okay, and then we're also going to do a butter sauce where we're going to put the lobster tail in. So you cook the lobster for like the lobster tail for about like 2 minutes. So it's cooking about 70% of it when you're putting it in the water. You're going to remove it, cut it open, remove the meat, and then you're going to put it into this butter sauce that we're making. So it's not like clarified, like it's not like, you can't use hot, like warm butter. You have to use very, very cold butter when you're whisking and making it. You guys will see it as I do it. And then this way you actually put the lobster in and then you cook it for like another 2 minutes or so, and then you can like either serve it with the butter or you can just remove it from the butter. So
I know this is just for garnish, she's going to garnish with radish. What do we do with this?
Sorry, I gotta remove this real quick.
Long strips?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I in your way?
No, this is really, really hot, so it might set off a fire alarm. I am going to make... Or smoke detector. What did I say, fire alarm?
Yeah.
I don't even know. The last time I'm so like, you know... I can't even think about what happened. Like it was just so surreal. And I am going to make like a little like... Not a chimichurri, almost like a chimichurri sauce for the steak if we want to have it like to dip in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be adding a poblano, a shallot, and some garlic into that with some parsley as well. So that'll be just served on the side, or you can drizzle it on the top. Totally up to you how you want to do it.
Okay.
All right, I'm just waiting for my water to come to a boil. There's a lot of steps to this, guys, so if you lose me with anything, just let me know. But I also will have the recipe, obviously, for everything. But this is kind of... There's a couple steps to this, so I think I'll do them individually. Okay. You know?
So I guess it's like julienne, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have about like 5 ounces of the lobster tail, like that. So they're pretty good sizes. And like I said, when you put them in the water, you're only putting them in for about 2 minutes. So you're only cooking it for like 70% of the way.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to remove this and put these guys on the cutting board here. Okay.
Anybody have anything interesting on Father's Day menu, or if you're not a father and you're just, you know,
celebrating with a father,
or
right? Everybody has it. Everybody has a daddy.
Yeah. And
everybody has a, you know. Okay.
And if they're not with you anymore, hopefully You can have a meal in dedication to them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's see if I can turn that off. All right, I'm gonna put the lobster tails in. Quick. Here.
So you're just dropping them in the boiling?
Yep.
All right.
That was my timer for the other thing.
This is like severe multitasking right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I actually didn't even know if I was going to come on and do this live because there's so many different steps to it. But he was like, no, you got to show people how you make it, so.
The lobster tail is fantastic. I can't, and I'm not a person who's a huge lobster fan. Like, I love crabs, but I would rather put the work into a king crab than a lobster. But,
Yeah.
but the way she does this, I love it. And the surf and turf just adds to it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, as soon as that lobster comes out of that water, you wanna put it right into a cold bath so it stops the cooking process. So this way it doesn't continue to cook, because remember, with lobster, if it gets overcooked by even like seconds, it becomes rubbery. And I think that's why a lot of people don't really like lobster tail that much, because of that, you know? So it's kind of like almost like shrimp. Like if it overcooks, it becomes rubbery and too like, too hard, you know? Yeah. All right.
Maybe that's why I like the way you prepare it too, because maybe I've just had it overdone before.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put some ice cubes in to the water here so it gets nice and cold. So once that gets out, we just put it right in.
Roberta got me for Father's Day a really cool ice cube tray for bourbon.
For your bourbon, yeah. All right, this is almost done here. All right. And then I'm gonna show you guys how you take the meat out of the lobster as well. Now, I was gonna try to cook a live lobster, but I know some people find it disturbing, but there is a very safe way to do it, where
Humane way.
Yeah, a humane way to do it, which is usually it's from the neck to the front of the lobster, where you take the knife, the sharp edge of the knife, and you just bring it back. So,
which lobster actually, they're one of those sea creatures that actually don't have nerve endings.
Right.
So they actually don't feel anything.
Right. All right, I'm gonna bring these guys out, Rick. So just be careful.
All right. You need me to move?
Just don't want you to get. So it'll be like that. Put it right into the cold water.
Oh wow.
So this way it'll stop the cooking, because we're gonna poach it.
Yeah, they cook fast.
Obviously you want to poach. You want to put it in the cold water too, because you're gonna have to cut the meat out, and you don't want to burn your hand. All right, so we have that going, and now I'm gonna start.
What else you need from me? I have the radishes are all julienned.
Okay.
Thank you, Maribel.
If you want to just put it in a little, you know.
That's enough, right?
Just to get it out of the way. Yeah, that's just for garnish. It's nothing, you know. All right, so what I'm gonna do.
You need me to chop parsley or whatever?
No,
else?
you don't need to do anything right now.
Okay.
I want to try to get this butter sauce going real quick.
Okay.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I want to show. This is where it gets a little tricky. We are going to add. Now this is where it gets to be a lot of butter, and I know this is not the healthiest of meals, but it is delicious. So you're gonna take about
splurge every once in a while.
Yeah, 2 tablespoons of water, and you're gonna put it into a saucepan. So you have a pan, 2 tablespoons of water. Pot. It's a saucepan. This is considered a saucepan.
Yeah.
I also need, can you just give me 1 clove of garlic?
Yep.
So you're going to put, just smash it and just throw it right into the water. And I'm going to take some thyme as well. And I'm just going to put it in there as well. Then I'm going to get all the butter. I do unsalted butter because this way I can kind of control the salt intake as well.
I actually think that's I love that you do that, because
What?
the unsalted butter.
Now, you want enough butter to coat for your
to drown
to drown your lobster tail in. So this is where A lot of people will go, "Oh my God, that's so much butter," but that's the poaching
You're
process.
not drinking the butter. I mean, you know, and if you, I mean, we just gotta.
All right, so Rick, I'm going to show you. Can I just show you how to do this so you can get the meat out for me?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to take your kitchen shears or a knife, and you're going to cut in the middle. Actually, can you move that from the heat there? Yeah, just for now, just so I can show you this, because there's different ways of doing this, and I want to make sure that you guys see it. Because you've got to remember that the lobster tail has a lot of nerves, like
tendons, you mean?
Yeah, in there. So you want to make sure you get it correct. Okay. So what you're going to do, I'm going to show you. So you know, like shrimp, where they have the veins, like the. Sorry, that's spray all over.
Yeah.
You know where the shrimp have like their intestine, like, you know, the poop, pretty much. So do lobsters. So.
I never actually really thought about that.
Yeah. Well, everything.
Well,
everything
poops.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
We have food, and that's what we're talking about.
It's the truth. All right, so that's the way it comes out.
God,
okay,
yeah, look at
just
that.
like that. Now, this is where you want to feel. See, there's nothing really here.
Down the ridge?
Yeah, and you kind of want to. Right here you go. See this right here? I know, guys, it's really gross, but this is the part.
That's the intestine?
This is what you want to take out. It's like that.
Oh, that's actually easier than a shrimp.
Yeah. That's what you want to get out, because that actually is really like, it's like a hard piece, so when you're eating it, it kind of, you know, and put it right back into that cold water.
In the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll start the butter. So you're good?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
I think I can handle it.
Okay.
Were there 40s or 3?
It's 3. I only got 3 because we're going to cut them in half, and it's kind of like a starter anyway.
Okay.
All right, so when you're doing this butter.
Try not to cut myself here.
When you're doing this butter, it's very important that you have cold butter. The reason why is because if you start with hot butter, it's just going to break up, and it's not going to like emulsify. It's not going to become a cream. So you put that in, and you start with 1 chunk at a time.
I never thought about that. Every time I work with butter, I always tried to melt it first.
Yeah. So you have to whisk the whole entire time, which I might have to have you at some point open the other packages for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just say when.
Yeah.
I'm busy getting shells all over the place here.
So the most important part is that you keep whisking, and you have this on medium heat. And then you just keep adding cubes of butter. So I think we're using about, what is this, a cup here, right?
Say tablespoons.
It's a half a cup. It's a half a cup. So we're looking at 2 cups of butter. I'm just saying, that's the way it. But it's important that, like I said, you keep whisking, because that's how you're going to get a creamy base. All right.
You made this look a lot easier than it actually is. All right, got it.
Okay.
Got it. Nice little.
Okay, now you gotta find that.
Find that intestine piece.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sometimes they might not. It might not show up, but all right.
I don't know that this one has one.
If you can pause that for a minute and just open another one for me.
Yep.
Actually, if you could just open all, if you just want to open all of them. Yeah, and then just cut them into 3. So you want something with the butter. Obviously, you don't want it to become super thick. You don't want like mayo, you know. You want it to become like something where you can take the back of the spoon and you can kind of just, you know, like kind of like a hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
You know.
John had sea scallops, steak, foil packet potatoes from the grill, and a plethora of the capping.
Oh, nice.
Sounds like a good meal. He said in 3s?
Yep.
My mouth is salivating here. I can't. The smell in this kitchen is fantastic.
This is the only pain in the butt with this. Is this part? Is the
whisking?
Yeah. You gotta have patience for that, but it's totally worth it when it is done.
Ow! Now you're burning me?
And after this, as soon as I add the lobster to it, we can start to sear the steak real quick to show everybody.
Okay.
This is such a pain. Like, this is so exciting for everybody.
Yeah.
To watch me whisk butter.
So, the last episode of Big Eats Small Kitchen, we did, you know, obviously there was, if you were tuned in, there was disaster at the end.
Yeah.
Car hit our house. Everybody was okay, thankfully. But I edited the episode down, and I put it up on Roberta's YouTube thing. And it's worth seeing what I did to the ending of it.
Oh my god.
You know,
it's not fun. Listen, I have a lot of expressions, so I can't help it.
She does. Quite a few. But I had to make sure I grabbed that and put it up.
All right. See, now this is where I wish I had an overhead camera to show everybody.
I can. Do you want?
No, it's all right. I'll bring it over and I'll show it to you guys.
So I don't think this one's got intestine in it.
You're still on the second one?
Well, I stopped to.
Oh, sorry.
You know, see, you can't sabotage me and then you know.
All right. This is exciting. This is why I said this. It's too many components.
Ah, it's fine.
You know.
It's fine. If I can get the this last shell is pretty tough.
I also want to do. I have to do my sweet pea puree too.
Oh yeah. So I checked the garden today. I was gonna check to see if we had any peas from the garden that we could use, and I went out there, and the deer have eaten the tops off of a third of my garden. So the peas were the plant that was destroyed. Everything else is still
there?
alive.
Oh, you said tomato plants on top though.
Yeah,
right?
but if they didn't get to the tomatoes, you know, they only went the very tops, which they kind of needed to be cropped anyway. So they didn't. Yeah. The deer did me a favor there.
All right, almost done here, guys. That was the last cube.
It's funny. Ever since you know, COVID happened and there were less people out, the fox and the deer in our neighborhood have like just suddenly decided that they're coming out all the time. There's no fear either.
Well, they had a break there from everybody being outside.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to show everybody what this looks like.
Okay, and I think I'm good here. I don't see any...
Like I said, this is a pain in the butt, but it's totally worth it. All right. Can you move?
Yep, I'm...
Just to showcase.
Show you
guys what this looks like, so you guys can see. So, it's like, so if you take the back of your spoon, it's like that. Like so. See how it coats the back of the spoon perfectly? And then it kind of, I would show you the color. It's like, you can see it's like a, almost like milky, you would say,
yeah, like
right?
a milky yellow, like off-white.
Yep. So remove that from the heat. Do you have all the lobsters are good?
You want to check those last two? I couldn't find that vein you were talking about.
Right.
I don't know if
this is the one that I did.
Maybe.
Or,
I don't know.
here we go. Yeah, see, there's...
Oh, so it's just a little...
Well,
I
sometimes...
did pick out a couple of those miscolored pieces. Oh, so you did get it.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes out all the way through. Sometimes it does not. So you just kind of want to feel for it and make sure that it's, you know, it's not in there.
All right.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut these, I think, in pieces right here.
Okay.
Can I just see this?
Yep.
So I'm just going to kind of just cut them in half, as I'm just going to dip them right into the butter. And put them in. I already removed it from the heat because I don't want it on the heat anymore.
Will it cook more if it's sitting in that hot butter?
Well, yeah, that's why you only cook it for 2 minutes, because it's only 70% cooked. So when you put it back in here, it's actually going to keep cooking, and it'll cook for about, you know, I don't know, 2 to 3 more minutes, and then you can remove it from that.
You kept it off the heat?
It's off the heat.
Right, it's just the hot butter is what's cooking it. Okay.
Now.
De-stem this, or are you just going to blend the stem?
I'll do that in a little bit. I just want to get the steak out of the way so I can show them.
Oh, right.
Can I put this here?
Oh man.
All right.
Where do you guys see this?
So
Fantastic.
you want to get, when you go to sear your, like the steak now, like I said, this is a reverse cooking method. So I took this out. This is a dry aged ribeye. And what I did was I cooked it in the oven first for 45 minutes to an hour. It was like 45 minutes because I took it out because it started to shrink down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a perfect base. You can feel it. It's still like, you know, it still has a little tenderness. Actually, it has a lot of tenderness to it. And take that out, and then we're just going to sear it on a cast iron. Now, you want your cast iron to be extremely hot because that's how you're going to get that really nice crust, even though, as you can see, there is already like a crust on there. Okay?
All right.
All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, not a lot. And then, where's my tongue? It's right here. Perfect. But like I said, you want this really, really hot. And actually, I'm going to need butter too again.
More butter. Yes.
The butter's just for the basting. Okay. There's butter right in front of you.
I know, but
yeah, that's perfect.
Were you looking for unsalted or?
They're all unsalted. I don't have salted butter.
You don't? We have a light bulb out, by the way.
Yeah. All right, so you take a little bit of that.
I thought you said you didn't have salted butter.
Oh.
Right?
I really don't use that though, so I don't really know. All right, so we're gonna take the steak. Just make sure. Here. All right, so it's really, you can see that it's sizzling there. So this is where you take.
Splash some water on it? Just to
No.
see if it's. Oh, it just started crackling?
Yeah, because the oil is in there.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna take the steak and we're gonna put it right on. Now, I said this before, don't touch it, just let it go. It'll do its thing, and so it'll be about 2 to 3 minutes or so, and then you'll flip it.
2 to 3 minutes on each side.
On each side, yep.
Okay.
So once I flip it, that's when I'll add the butter, and then I'll start basting it.
And that's not going to, so that doesn't overcook inside? Is that,
No, because we already did the reverse cooking. This is just to create a crust.
Okay.
This is all it is. There's nothing else really for it. I'm not going to showcase, like, you know, I'll do this all, like, the green sauce that we're doing. Mm-hmm. We'll do that. But I'll show the steak as soon as that comes off, and then I'll plate everything, and then I'll put it up so you guys can see. I am going to serve it with a salad. I'm not going to serve it with potatoes because I feel like it's already a heavy, thick dish to begin with, so you need some kind of like greens.
Yeah, something to freshen it up.
Yeah, something to become fresh. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, do you want me to de-stem that so it's all
Yeah,
ready?
you can start cutting it if you want.
Yeah.
Just I wouldn't cut it on that cutting board though.
Oh.
Because I don't know how spicy it is.
Is it a poblano?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This you can put this.
Poblano.
You can put that in there. No, I don't need it. All right. This thing is so big. I was gonna get a tomahawk, which it's pretty much this, but it has the big bone on the side. It's basically just the rib of the cow, a ribeye. That's just my shallot.
Yeah, so, well, that stuff doesn't even...
Well, did you get the seeds and stuff out of it?
No, you kind of got in front of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whew, still hot. I mean, you took this thing out, like, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. I mean, if there's a little bit of seed, it's fine. It's not gonna, you know. But the seed is usually where the spice is.
Spices.
Yeah.
Try to. I'm really just here to make a mess. That's what I do best.
All right, now I'm gonna add this butter. I'm gonna add the rosemary. Sorry, add the rosemary right in there.
There is going to be some seed.
That's fine.
It's not going to be a lot, but.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
This is going into the puree?
Yeah, not a puree. That's for my green sauce.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. This, episode.
I'm so lost.
That's why I didn't want to do this episode, really, because there's so much stuff to it.
Yeah, but it's neat to see it. You know, it's not doing anything else anyway. So people get bored, they can
tune out.
But I'm glad.
All right, I'm gonna need to get right into you. Cheers. All right, now I'm just gonna. I added a garlic clove, and now I'm just gonna keep basting it with the butter.
Now the rosemary's in the kitchen.
The garlic.
I love the smell of rosemary.
Yeah. Thing is, when you're adding herbs like this to any oil, though, be careful because it does splatter.
So you flipped that already?
I flipped it once, and then I'm just gonna. I want the other side because the other side is really, really good. So.
Okay.
But this is pretty much it. So we're gonna take it and then we're gonna let it rest.
All right. Now, how are you serving this again? So
this?
Yeah.
This I'm just gonna cut the bone and slice it thin.
Where does the
salad's gonna go with it?
Where does the pea thing come in?
That's gonna go with the lobster.
Okay, so you're laying the lobster on
the lobster is so rich that I feel like when you add the sweet pea, it kind of breaks up that a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it in the whole butter thing the way I did it before. I'm actually going to remove it from the butter and place it in with, and then just drizzle a little bit. Okay. You guys will see. I'll put it up, you know. But this is like literally falling.
Oh, wow.
All right. So I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to put it on the cutting board. I wish I could show you guys. I don't know if you can see or not. But I'll have pictures of it. So I'm gonna let it sit.
Water in here.
Alright. I'm gonna let it sit now. Don't touch it for like about 3 minutes. Just let it do its thing, and then you cut against the grains. That's how you always cut steak, and that's how you get that really tender piece every single time. So that's pretty much it.
Alright.
Everybody's probably enjoying, you know, Father's Day and all that. So, but I will have the pictures, like I said, and yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Sounds good.
Talk to you later.